I wonder, so, have you ever felt pain? In those few moments before what we now know as pain crawled its way out of the dark abyss itself, Yuji had just assumed everything was sweet. Now Maki was safe, Megumi would be alright, Angel would follow up after and then kill Sukuna along with Yuji and release Gojo, who would in turn take care of Kenjaku. The plan literally had no faults, apart from the fact that they don't own the playing field they're standing on. This is not their domain. Like, I thought everything was already messed up enough for our main crew and we didn't need anything else to possibly hinder them and their efforts to stop this culling game. But I literally couldn't have been further from the truth. It seems Gege Akutami is all about letting us, the viewers, fall into a spot of despair pretty similar to how I would imagine Yuji is feeling right now. Just before we do move forward into the culmination of Sukuna's plan and the moment he changed Jujutsu Kaisen forever, if you are new around here and want to watch more stuff just like this, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave a like down below, as it really helps out with pushing my content to a bunch of new amazing people. Plus, I've got some big news that I'd like to share right at the very end of the video. But either way, enough of that, let's get into the return of the Demon Lord. Back atop the roof, sadly, Maki was then revealed to be an imposter. Watching this thing in front of him cackle, Megumi asks the imposter who they are, to which she hysterically gloats that she's definitely his big sister. So, this person inside of Megumi is actually called Yorozu, a sorcerer from at least 1000 years ago, just like a few of the other people here. Megumi, who obviously just wants to know why, is told that she pretended to be his big sister to use the free points for her own gain. She hasn't had a good fight in at least 1000 years and wants to choose her battle along with its location. Claiming that she wants to take on Sukuna first, moth-like wings begin forming on her back before she jumps off the building and begins boosting away. Yuji and Hana instantly go to give chase, not wanting her to escape. However, like everyone, please just remember back to episode 7 right here and right now. Already in a moment of despair, Sukuna uses that opportunity to appear on the side of Yuji's face and utter the words, "In chain." As per the binding vow shown in chapter 11 or episode 7, Yuji is instantly forced to hand over his body to Sukuna. Without any hesitation, Sukuna immediately appears on the back of Hana, taking her out with a complete ease. Looking over at Megumi, whose brain must be going through it right now, Sukuna explains that he once made a vow with Yuji. Having explained that he can't harm anyone to Megumi, he notes that from here on out, everything that he does is just a complete gamble. Sending some form of channeling curse energy to Yuji's finger, Sukuna then proceeds to freaking tear his entire finger off. Screaming at this moment in pure joy, he explains that it was a gamble because he wasn't even sure if Yuji included himself in the vow when stipulating the condition that Sukuna must not hurt anyone. Megumi. Typical man instantly pulls out the arm movements to do Maharaga, but I honestly can't blame him, he doesn't really have any other choice at the moment. So as he tries to summon Maharaga, Sukuna darts in, grabbing his face and restricting the summoning seal before shoving his finger down her boy's unsuspecting throat. With the curse energy pulsating through Megumi, an unconscious Yuji comes to, not even realizing what just happened as per the vow stipulations. However, standing opposite his boy, he hears Sukuna say that indeed sees something interesting in the future, didn't they? Raising his head, we see that no one other than the King of Curses himself has supposedly fully reincarnated inside of Megumi for Shigeru's body. Going back, probably for a last time I would say, into the inner world of Sukuna's, we see him monologue about the intricacies of his plan for Megumi. Back during the day when he confronted Megumi as Yuji for the first time, he sensed unmatched potential from him, his curse techniques and his abilities. He knew that he could have forced Megumi to eat his finger then and there that day, but had purposefully waited until he had built up enough strength inside of Yuji to initiate the vow. Atop the building, Meguna, which is like Sukuna Megumi mix-up, I'm just going to call him that sometimes, the absolute beast himself stands there, leaving Yuji stunned, asking for his friend to just talk to him. Yet, as we all probably expected was just about to happen, the demon, Megumi as Sukuna, comes in with a charge and punches Yuji. And this wasn't any ordinary level of punch as well. Man disapparated the fabric around the area that he hit on Yuji. It made Yuji freaking throw up while sending him hurling through a multitude of different skyscrapers. Eventually though, Yuji ends up finishing his destructive path on a rooftop of another building completely unconscious and covered in rubble. Noticing some people approaching the area, Sukuna states that in every damn age, insects always come crawling out of the woodwork. Placing his hands together, he then forms the sign of Megumi's 10 Shadows technique, more specifically, the hand signs for Nue. Instantly, a monolithic-sized Nue is summoned atop a nearby skyscraper. With everyone reacting in pure shock and awe at the size of Nue, it releases its usually pretty ineffective attack that simply stuns people, yet this time it rains deadly lightning down on everyone from the sky above. Having recovered from her previous beating, Hana quickly makes her appearance by shooting over, showing up behind the revived demon. Seeing her, Sukuna realizes that Hana and the angel coexist, and thus she can recover very fast to say like in comparison to him and Yuji in the past. Given that Hana is extremely in love with Megumi, I would say, probably from what I've read so far, she screams in hesitation, not wanting to hurt Megumi. However, Angel insists that there is no other choice. He is the disgraced one and must be eliminated right away. Thus, as Hana cries to get Megumi back, Angel begins reciting the incarnation to dispel evil itself. Speaking to God now, she tells him to purify all, remove his anguish, transgressions, and guilt to guide him on the correct path. Instantly, Jacob's ladder initiates, filling the sky with some form of holy symbol, before a mass of pure light energy strikes down upon the disgraced one himself. With a mass of light bearing down on Meguna, it begins tearing at Sukuna's soul in an attempt to bring Megumi back. As Hana is crying, screaming that Megumi belongs to her, it appears as if her technique has actually managed to work, dispelling Sukuna's spirit from Megumi's body. But remember, like honestly, just how I said before, that incarnated sorcerers and people like Sukuna can mimic how their body used to behave, while Angel realizes that Sukuna is still in control and manipulating Hana with Megumi's voice. Not paying attention though, Hana falls into Megumi's arms, saying that she's always. Sadly though, she's unable to continue her sentence as Sukuna fully reveals himself before going to strike on an unsuspecting Hana. Calling her a foolish human, Sukuna, like an absolutely rabid dog, bites and tears at Hana before throwing her across the entirety of the building, causing her to smash into the side of the protective railing. Yuji, down below, watching this in shock and not even able to comprehend what just happened, witnesses Hana thud onto the ground below, with no indication that she'll ever return. Looking down from the top of the building himself, Sukuna is astonished to see Yuji somehow alive after the previous blow. With rage beginning to fill up inside of him, and after realizing that he's lost the one thing keeping him together and giving him meaning in life, Yuji breaks. In a complete flash, Yuji jumps across the building, breaking the ground below him and causing the entire skyscraper to collapse. He grabs Sukuna's neck and screams his name before landing a ferocious punch on the King of Curses' face, forcing him to dart back across the street. Regaining his footing, Sukuna wonders just how in the world Yuji is so strong all of a sudden. Then, in that freaking moment, Yuji takes him off guard, throwing a massive section of the previously collapsing building into the demon's face, sending him shooting back once again. Sprinting towards them himself, Yuji grabs a piece of rebar to beat down on Sukuna with. With him darting in behind the King of Curses, Sukuna remarks that he should have seen this coming. After all, Yuji is from back then. And what do you mean by that, Sukuna, right there, eh? Anyway, having blocked Yuji's strike with the bar, Sukuna counters by disarming and kicking him in the face while noting that Kenjaku's jaw is twisted. As Yuji continues to approach Sukuna, trying to attack him, he screams, asking him why. Why is it that he just can't live normally like everyone else? Why can't he live a life without causing everyone to suffer? Yuji continues approaching when all of a sudden Sukuna uses his curse technique Slash to cut Yuji across the chest. Replying to his previous statements, Sukuna rebuttals him, asking him why he's so weak, continuously trying to cling to life. He continues by saying that their suffering is only natural and they are meant to live life with this misery. For a moment there, Yuji forgot that there is no reasoning with them, as they are and always will be curses. Yuji dares Sukuna to chew on his misery and suffering instead, while beginning to march towards the Demon Lord himself. Passing him off is just utterly pathetic. Sukuna uses his curse technique to continuously cut Yuji over and over and over and over again. Yet, our boy is just built different, and with a rage-filled heart, he puts the pain aside and stuns Sukuna by not slowing his approach at all. Standing there and actually confused now on like what is going on, Sukuna wonders how in the world he's so tough. Then out of freaking nowhere, and just like during Shibuya, once again proving that the body and soul are one, Megumi holds Sukuna's movements, allowing his boy to follow up and pummel his face with a fat right hook. Elsewhere, and literally just boosting it over on the Blowfish Express, Uraume and Kenjaku are seen travelling towards what I assume to be the current beatdown. Back in the battle and having smacked Sukuna in the face, Meguna remarks that Fushiguro is indeed stopping his curse energy output, which is allowing him to only use 10% of his maximum output, hence how Yuji has managed to survive the blow so far. Sukuna notes that, well, it's probably expected when the job's only half done, but still considers it enough to easily take out Yuji. Standing there, Meguna is completely taken by surprise as he couldn't sense Maki actually slowly moving towards the epicenter of the fight. Wanting to know what in the world caused Sukuna's body to switch into Megumi's, Maki asks to be brought up to date, with Yuji just completely battered and bruised, telling her to just kill him as he's not going to die either way. Boosting in, Maki attempts to land a fat head kick in collaboration with Yuji. However, Megumi's body is functioning extremely well, obviously, from what we've seen so far, and he's comfortably able to counter his opponent. Still, Maki, with her immense speed, is able to break through his defenses and send him flying, smashing into some railing nearby. Taking the opportunity, Yuji then grabs the other side of the railing, bending it around Sukuna, before Maki follows up in combination and kicks him into a building nearby. Seeing the unharmed demon waltz out though, Maki wonders if it's impossible to actually inflict damage with her soul liberation sword because Sukuna will use his reverse curse techniques to heal himself. Knowing that no matter what happens here, they'll have to kill Sukuna, Maki charges in, saying he'll have to keep up with her speed. Probably running at speeds faster than sound right now, Sukuna is surprisingly able to keep up with the attacks of Maki and Yuji, but notes that whenever he tries to attack them with curse energy, the pull from Megumi inside him is stronger, and thus, to get around Megumi, Sukuna, like the absolute big brain man he is, uses his curse technique, Cleave, spider threads on the ground below to utterly destroy the ground and disbalance Yuji and Maki. With the ground around them now falling to bits, Sukuna is able to easily dart in and lands a fat right hook, yet Maki simply spits out a tooth or two, leaving him completely impressed with how she's hardly even worried with taking damage. As Sukuna falls back a little, a mysterious foe then randomly appears from the side, and uses a maximum output technique called Dead Calm. The resulting aftermath from the attack not only freezes the entirety of the area, but also Maki and Yuji. So, that mysterious person happened to be no one other than the coldest woman out, Sukuna's right-hand woman, Uraume, who apologizes for her grand entrance while saying that she's still weakened the ice around Yuji just in case they need him. Sukuna though literally doesn't care for him anymore and instead just compliments her, stating that focusing her energy on Maki was a good idea. Believing that everything here is sweet now, Sukuna then summons Nue, saying that this body is still not complete, so they need to prepare for the bath immediately. In that moment though, our goat though, looking more beaten and bruised than ever after this escalade, bursts his way out of the ice. Noticing this, Uraume proposes taking him out, but Sukuna says that they should just look at him and have a good laugh. Flying away for what seems like good in Yuji's eyes, Sukuna, having taken the body of Yuji's best friend, and Uraume laugh at his face, noticing that he looks just like the person from the Harima province. So yes, I guess that brings us up to date and to the very end of Sukuna and that one time he utterly changed Jujutsu Kaisen forever. On a different note though, I've actually started another channel in which I'll be taking all of the fights and most hype moments from throughout all of these series that I've already covered and re-releasing them independently on my Clips channel. So this will probably be one of the last fight videos that'll I guess a re-upload in some kind of way, because this weekend I'll be releasing the full arc that has this video in it as well, unless I've obviously decided to cover a battle like I've done with One Punch Man and One Piece in the past. So go subscribe over there to my Diavolo Clips channel, and once all the art I'm getting made is sorted, then I'll start releasing a bunch of fights and the most hype moments throughout manga that I've covered so far. For anyone else who is confused as to why I'm actually doing this, I just want to keep my main channel for longer format content, and having a Clips channel will hopefully allow me to focus on making longer format content without freaking out over actually not having uploaded for 2 weeks, because these videos do take a lot to actually get out. Also, if anyone is interested and wants to edit chapter reviews for me, then hit me up over on Twitter or just message me on Discord or something, as I'm looking to revive the Volo channel and do future chapter reviews weekly. But just because I edit, script and do everything already for my Diavolo channel, I need someone who can actually do that over on the Volo channel. Either way, I hope you all enjoyed the video and what I've got to come in the future. Thanks to all of my dope Patreons who keep me fed every month, and obviously remember to subscribe if you are new around here and haven't already. But for now, it's been your professional degenerate Diavolo, and I'll see you all in a bit. Bye.